Transmission coming in, Commander. I think you're gonna want to hear this one.
Greetings, Commander Shepard. I represent a party interested in obtaining information on Cerberus activities.
Who are you, and who do you represent?
Who I am is inconsequential. Suffice to say, I am an agent for the Shadow Broker. You see, Admiral Kahoku contacted my employer looking for information on the location of any Cerberus facilities. We provided that information on the promise that he would turn over copies of all files gathered from the Cerberus systems to us.
Did you have anything to do with Admiral Kahoku ending up dead?
We had no reason to harm him. He was going to provide us with information about Cerberus. Information that is now in your possession.
You must have some connection to Cerberus. How else could you tell Kahoku where to find them?
Information is our business, Commander. Through our contacts, we were able to determine that the Cerberus group was active in the Voyager cluster. Unfortunately, that was all we were able to find out. That is why we are so interested in acquiring copies of the files from you.
These are classified Alliance files. I am not handing them over to you.
Be reasonable, Commander. Cerberus was operating outside Alliance jurisdiction. You don't owe them any loyalty. The Alliance is just going to file this information away in some archive, but no secret stays hidden forever. Eventually, someone somewhere will deliver it into our hands. Might as well be you. Transmit the files to us and you will be well compensated.
What are you gonna do with this information?
Information is a commodity. It can be bought, sold, or traded. Why my employer desires this information is not my concern. I am only the buyer.
My loyalty is to the Alliance, not the Shadow Broker.
That is unfortunate, Commander. My employer will remember this the next time you need something from us.
Kogia is a hothouse terrestrial world with a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of iron with deposits of gold. The core of Kogia is very hot and tectonically active. Volcanic eruptions are common, and outgassing continues to add to the density of the atmosphere. The largest active volcano has a caldera nearly 100 kilometers in diameter, and its basalt floods have covered an area roughly the size of the Earth continent of Australia. Fucking Ada.
Message coming in, Commander. Big surprise, the Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the hulking Eta cluster. He's attracted a number of followers, mostly biotics. He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
What kind of proof do you have that the Major is dangerous?
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as some kind of religious leader.
I might be able to end this without violence.
That may not be possible, Commander. We don't want a bloodbath, but Kyle is dangerous. I'll trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Theropto is a typical hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sulfur in its atmosphere. It has over 100 moons and an extensive ring system composed of pulverized rock, presumably the debris from shattered moons. While scanning the planet Theropto, you discover a tiny moon with some odd readings. Further scans by Chief Engineer Adams revealed a destroyed escape pod Your salvage team recovered the components and found a League of One medallion. Canstra is a terrestrial world of average size. The atmosphere is composed of nitrogen and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of tin with deposits of calcium, aside from some spectacular formations of water ice at the poles. The planet has little to recommend it. While scanning the planet, you've detected a significant deposit of cobalt. While scanning the asteroid field in the Hawking Eta cluster, you detected a large deposit of palladium. Presrop is the moon of Clendagon. It is a frigid, barren world with an extremely thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. The crust contains plentiful deposits of heavy metals. The Alliance has opened bidding for the moon's mineral rights, but exploitation will be complicated by the system's proximity to the 5 kiloparsec ring around the galactic core. The ring is an area of intense star formation and too dangerous to safely travel. Presrop's landscape is a nightmare of jagged, overlapping ridges and geological shock zones created by some ancient disaster. This has not deterred a generation of illegal wildcat miners from attempting to exploit the moon's mineral riches. Unfortunately, many have lost their lives. There's Presrop. I was trying to get its planet, but it's not. Okay, Clendagon. Clendagon is an arid terrestrial slightly larger than Earth, but with a lower density that reflects its relative lack of heavier elements. The crust is composed of tin and aluminum, with wide deserts of dust-fine sand that are easily stirred by the wind. Clendagon's most striking feature is, of course, the Great Rift Valley that stretches across the southern hemisphere. What is most fascinating about the rift is that it does not appear to be natural. Geologic record suggests it is the result of a glancing blow by a mass accelerator round of unimaginable destructive power. This occurred some 37 million years ago. Just cannot be good for the spine. Oh wow, I'm right in Threshamot territory. Let's do this. I got into really close range. Oh, baby. Don't turn, don't turn, don't turn, don't turn, don't turn. That's rough. Do another round of repairing. Interesting, the marked spot is right here, but... Alright. I don't see that there's anything here. You've successfully surveyed a large deposit of uranium. Great driving, baby. Good job. You've successfully surveyed a large deposit of gold. I like that there's like this huge settlement over here and they've ignored the giant pile of gold.
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
I want this to end peacefully. If he doesn't see me, people could get hurt.
We won't let you take Father Kyle away. He protects us. We need him.
The Alliance wants someone to pay for those murders. Let me speak to Major Kyle and maybe I can find some way to help you all get out of this alive.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
Hey, Garrus, baby.
Just lead the way.
Hey, honey. I just want you to know. I love you.
I am Major Kyle. I know why you've come. We have no quarrel with you. Why can't you just leave us alone?
What happened to those other Alliance officers? The ones who came before me?
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back on my family. They spoke blasphemy. I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you are endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
You ordered your followers to kill those Alliance investigators. You must face the consequences of your actions. Do you really want your children to suffer for your sins too?
No, this was my fault. My children are innocent, pure. Please, I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry.
You're doing the right thing, Major. Your children will be better off for it. Come on.
Wait, if my children see you taking me away, they won't understand. They will attack and you will be forced to kill them all. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
I'm gonna trust you. If you betray that trust, you and all your children will suffer.
I will not betray you, Commander. Thank you for this.
Your pilot can have an Alliance Command patrol pick Major Kyle up. I just hope you know what you're doing, Shepard.
I do. You should return to the Normandy and notify the Alliance of Kyle's surrender. They'll want to dispatch a ship to take him into custody. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've played this before.
Father Kyle says we biotics have to stick together.
Yeah, try not to make that a mass grave, huh? Cool sky.
On my way.
Digging under the beacon revealed a piece of scrap metal, likely from a very old freighter. It was marked with one side from the Macedon outpost insignia. The front of the rover is crumpled in from impact. A glance inside tells you the occupants, probably a team of illegal wildcat miners, are dead. Debris is still sliding down the furrows left by its tires, silent in the near-vacuum atmosphere. Okay. 3 more medallions. The cluster of prefab utility shacks has a distinctly ramshackle look to them. A set of rover tracks leads away over the mountain ridge to the southwest. Okay, southwest. Alright, we may have already been to the spots. But let's try going southwest. Yeah, okay. Hold on, did I just do southeast? No. Southwest. Yeah, I've already seen those. I don't see anything new. We'll try going down this valley, see if there's anything there, but footprints are kind of unreasonable. Yeah, I think those other spots were the discovery.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Admiral Hackett here, Commander. Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We sent in a team as you instructed. Kyle's followers have disbanded, and the Major surrendered to us without incident. We'll make sure he gets the help he needs. To be honest, Shepard, I thought this thing was going to end in a bloodbath. I don't know how you did it, but you saved a lot of lives. Congratulations.
Tamahera has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and xenon. The surface is icy and composed of sodium oxide with deposits of calcium. It contains a few unremarkable metals, but mainly consists of rock. The presence of canyons and floodplains indicates that liquid water once existed, suggesting Tamahera had a thicker, insulating atmosphere in the past. Okay, we're in the Kepler Verge. Write that down.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
I've received some troubling information, Commander. We need your help. Someone is killing former Alliance scientists. There have been 4 deaths in the past month.
I'm happy to look into it, Admiral. What can you tell me?
All 4 scientists worked on a classified project on Akuz. There was a brutal massacre there years ago. An entire unit was killed by Thresher Maws. It was classified as a natural hazard, but the project dates coincide with the attacks.
You think these scientists had something to do with the attack?
I'm not certain what I think, but it's worth investigating. There was one other scientist on the project, Dr. Wayne. I'm transmitting his last known coordinates. Good luck. 5th Fleet out.
Okay, so Akuz is from the Soul Survivor origin. It says Mos is an ice dwarf world. Its surface composed almost entirely of frozen water. Normally a planetoid this small would not rate inclusion in the system's charts, but Sesmos' unusually large and beautiful ring of ice crystals has made it a popular subject for visual artists. The ring is the result of a glancing equatorial impact, which left a large trench and threw a great deal of melted water into the atmosphere. The rings are a temporary feature that will completely decay in a few thousand years. Junkro is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sodium in its upper atmosphere. Like Uranus in the Sol system, it is tipped on its side, its north pole facing the star Newton. Gas giant appears to have a large concentration of hydrogen. Plancoria is a rock and ice planet with an atmosphere composed of chlorine and argon. The frozen surface is mainly composed of potassium with deposits of iron. Plancoria is famously claimed by the eccentric Volus billionaire Kuan Chul. He claims that a vision of a higher being told him to seek on Plancoria the lost crypts of beings of light. These entities were supposedly created at the dawn of time to protect organic life from synthetic machine devils. Shaw has been excavating on Clencori's toxic surface for 2 decades at great expense. No government has valued the world enough to evict his small army of mercenaries. Scans of the planet Clancori revealed the cockpit of a Volus trading vessel. There are no signs of the rest of the ship, but the salvage team discovered one of Matriarch Dilanaga's writings in the ship's systems. Though Underarm's surface is uncomfortably hot, its nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere and abundant shallow seas make it an ideal candidate for habitation by most known species. Unfortunately, the orbit of the moon of Thonal has been slowly decaying since the system coalesced. Its proximity is beginning to have tidal effects, and its dynamo-like revolution through Underarm's magnetic field is generating increasingly powerful electrical storms. While some have suggested emplacement of Mass Effect drives and an attempt to lighten the moon and correct its orbit, the scale of such a project, tens of thousands of drives costing enough to bankrupt the governments of all the Citadel races, makes it a pipe dream. A multiracial effort is underway to catalog and preserve the unique genetic diversity of Onderam's vibrant young biosphere. Exogenic War and Haywan Genomics represent the Alliance share of the effort. That's going to go well. Okay, bugs and possibly Pyjack. And a dead Khajiit? What the hell? I swear that's a dead Khajiit. That's really weird. Okay. I guess it's a Taurian. This woman appears to have been thrown from the wreckage on impact. Inspecting the vehicle, you find an ancient paper book with a Bostra Outpost's insignia printed on the cover. Alright. Turian, not Khajiit. Where it looks like ears, though. That's really weird. Okay. I mean, obviously big beetle, but, I don't have to hurt them. They won't do anything. This guy. I love the thunder and lightning. Well, I guess just lightning. Can't hear the thunder. So cool. Crash shuttle with clipping. And 3 dead people. Hey, buddy. Wouldn't want to leave you out. Sorry, these just look like Minecraft creatures. The lights on the crates just make them look like eyes. Oh, yeah, it's gonna start giving me inventory warnings. Okay. Okay, so if you do the Sole Survivor, you were on a cruise, and you believed you were the only person who survived.
Stay back! I've got no grief with you. All I want is this bastard.
Please! He's a madman! Mr. Toombs, you're insane! You need help!
It's Corporal! Corporal Toombs! You don't get to lie! Not today! Today it all comes out!
What all comes out? I'm listening, but I need you to put that gun down.
You don't understand! I don't want to kill anyone. I want to go to sleep without screaming in my dreams. I want the people who sent me to Aku's brought to justice.
That's the same actor who did
Can't you see that Toombs is crazy? Shoot him!
But if I can't get that, I'll have to settle for killing the men who took my life away.
What did the doctor do to you, Corporal?
We were on Aku's. When the Thresher Maws hit, my entire unit was wiped out. The Thresher Maws, the scientists were studying them. They let them hit our unit just to watch. I woke up in a holding cell. The scientists were delighted I'd survived. Now they had someone to run tests on.
What kind of tests are we talking about?
You can't believe Toombs! He doesn't have any proof! I demand a fair trial!
Ever had Thresher Maw acid in your veins? I have. They wanted to see what it would do. They treated me like a lab animal. I only escaped because somebody destroyed Cerberus, their big organization.
That was me.
This is justice. This man deserves to die. So, are you going to kill me or not?
You're better than this, Toombs. You're not like them.
Don't tell me what I am! Nobody knows who I am! Those bastards took it all away. They ran their tests until I screamed, until I cried. I couldn't remember my own name half the time. I should be dead, like my unit. I'm nothing. Why am I too good to murder him?
You put on a uniform, Corporal. You swore an oath. Don't let them take that from you.
Hadn't thought of it like that. Okay. I'm no murderer. They couldn't make me one. Just as long as he goes to trial. Maybe the screaming will stop now. I don't know.
Those bastards can't hurt you anymore. Joker, tell the 5th Fleet we need a ship for pickup.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Toombs stares morosely at the floor, lost in his memories. You give the scientist a shove toward the door. Your mission is complete. The Alliance courts will take it from there. Okay, yeah, he is the same voice actor who does Dr. Manuel. And he does Pitney 4 in Mass Effect 2. I think that's the, I'm pretty sure Pitney 4 is the, biotic god, Volus. Good to know. So he's kind of typecast and plays lots of, crazy people. Mass Effect 3, he's only listed as additional voices. What kind of idiot does that? No, Pitney 4 isn't. I think Nif-2-Cal is the biotic god. Pitney 4 is the Volus outside.
You need to turn back, Commander. You're going beyond the range of the operational area.
Pitney 4 is the one that tries to bribe you when you go after Samara's ship. Well, Morith's ship's name for Samara. You've successfully surveyed a large deposit of palladium. So yeah, if you're if you're the sole survivor from Akuz, Toombs will remember you. Oh, more shifty looking cows. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Hello, shifty looking cow. You wanna steal some money? You can, I got plenty. Oh, maybe they took that bit of code out, or maybe I was mistaken. I thought the shifty-looking cows stole money from you. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go sell.
Looking for supplies?
Message coming in. Patching it through.
I reviewed your report on the situation, Commander. I'm glad to see you were able to take Dr. Wayne in alive. Now we can put him on trial and get some answers. Corporal Toombs seems to have found some closure. Hopefully with therapy, he'll have a normal life again someday. Thank you again for your assistance, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
I believe Toombs, you don't encounter him again, but he will send you an angry email. Because you're working with Cerberus. I don't like it either, buddy. Abaka is a moderately sized terrestrial world with a hazy hydrocarbon atmosphere. Its surface is mainly composed of chlorides, with deposits of solid and liquid form hydrocarbons. While scanning this asteroid field in the Montano system, you discover a large deposit of platinum. Fidela is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. In addition to the standard cargo bay, the hull has several biological research modules attached. Private owner, Dr. R. Hart. Uh-oh. Whoop. I crashed. Paragon's hydrogen-helium atmosphere is given a fairly dramatic emerald tint by chlorine and ionized gases. It has nearly 100 moons.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
This mission doesn't make any sense to me. If he's making his money on organs, I don't understand this, but okay. So it doesn't make, yeah, none of this makes sense to me.
That's it. Bag 'em and tag 'em.
But weirdly, nobody consulted me on the creation of this storyline. Oh no, it's strange.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me from those things.
Commander, that's him. That's Dr. Saleon.
What? My name is Hart.
It says
Dr.
Dr.
Hart.
Saleon.
Please, get
what?
me out of
My
here.
name is Hart.
Are you sure it's him?
Positive. There's no escape this time, Doctor. I'd harvest your organs first, but we don't have the time.
Gross.
You're crazy. He's crazy. Please, don't let him do this to me.
We'll take him in, drop him off with the military.
But we have him. We can't let him get away. Not again.
If he dies, we'll never know what he's been up to, or how he did it. We'll take him in, interrogate him, and he'll serve his time.
Okay. You're right. You're a very lucky Solarian. You owe the Commander your life.
Oh, thank you so very much.
Enemy sighted!
See, all he does is run
And
away.
so he dies anyway. What was the point of that?
You can't predict how people will act, Garrus, but you can control how you'll respond. In the end, that's what really matters.
Yeah. I don't think I ever met anyone like you, Commander. Well, I guess we're done here.
Saleon's medical equipment is stained with the blood of many species, pale blue, violet, orange, and more than a few dark red. But his work has ended here. Time to head back to Normandy. Yeah, all he does really is run away. I guess, I don't know. I just think it's funny that you could be like, yep, subtitles say that's Saleon, right there. But how bad of a doctor do you have to be to let that many infected test subjects out into your warehouse?
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Yay, I got messages. Message downloaded from Cerberus facility Binthu. Doctor, I've been made aware of snooping Alliance Admiral heading to your research outpost, likely arriving with one rotation. Deal with Admiral Kahoku appropriately. If you can, find out who tipped him off. Then relocate to the main facility on Nephron, Columbia, Voyager cluster. As it stands, Binthu is compromised to scrub all evidence of your presence there. The General. File downloaded from Cerberus Facility Nephron. Cerberus Cell, Military Division, Handler, General Oleg Petrovsky, which, by the way, ends up in the Omega DLC. He takes over Omega in Mass Effect 3. So, and after you beat him, you get his chessboard in your, quarters. Objective: pose as Alliance Black Ops unit under the command of Armiston Baines. Recover and research hostile extraterrestrial life forms and discover methods of control. Oh, Okay. Baines was being impersonated. Research stations at Binthu, Yangtze, Yangtze, Voyager Cluster, Chaska, Matano, Maroon Sea, Notacrux, Vostok, Maroon Sea, Depot Sigma 23, Gorgon, Argus Rho, Enteron, Newton, Kepler Verge. Report directly to data encrypted. Message from Garrus Vakarian. Shepard, I want to thank you once again for helping me track Dr. Salion. I can finally leave this behind me, and we've made the galaxy a safer place without him. Maybe it's not much, but it feels great to finally see some actual results. Well, alright, I know the galaxy is not completely safe just yet. We might just have a little bit of work left to do in the matter, but you can count on me. I'll be right by your side. I wanted to do something to thank you, so I got in touch with all my friends and contacts to see if any of them might be in possession of insignias from old Turian colonies. I heard you've been collecting them. Turns out my contact network really isn't that bad, especially for a failed CSEC officer. I located 4 of these insignia and arranged to have them shipped to you. I hope it helps. Now let's get on with that galaxy-saving thing before we forget. Garrus. Okay. Alright. League Medal. Okay, so there are 2 quests that are out of assignments. I really only got 2 left. Got some exploration to do. But we're coming up to the end here. I'm just going to talk to Garrus now and get his reaction to Dr. Hart. I really don't think many of the characters have much more to say, but that was his loyalty mission.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought a lot about what you've told me. About not sacrificing innocence to achieve the goal. About finding the best way through, not just the fastest. And I've been thinking about Dr. Salion, too. I'd convinced myself that he deserved to die, but then I started thinking about why I wanted him dead. I realized it wasn't because of what he did to those people. That was part of it, but I think most of it was because he got away from me. He escaped under my watch, and I didn't like that. I let it become personal.
Words mean nothing until you turn them into action, Garrus. What are you gonna do about it?
Well, I'm going back to CSEC. I think I can make a difference there. I'll also reapply for Spectre training, but I'll do it right. I won't compromise myself to get there. If the people I'm sworn to protect can't trust me, then I don't deserve to be the one protecting them.
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
Turians. Religion. Although Turians have a strict moral code, their belief in individual responsibility means that the concepts of good and evil are simply the individual's choice between egotism and altruism in any given decision. They have no concept of good deities that encourage noble behavior or evil ones that tempt individuals to misdeeds. Turians believe that groups and areas have spirits that transcend the individual. For example, a military unit would be considered to have a literal spirit that embodies the honor and courage it has displayed. A city's spirit reflects the accomplishments and industry of its residents. An ancient tree's spirit reflects the beauty and tranquility of the area it grows within. These spirits are neither good nor evil, nor are they appealed to for intercession. Which is interesting because Garrus does use them as like swears and prayers to the spirits, but okay. Turians do not believe spirits can affect the world, but spirits can inspire the living. Prayers and rituals allow an individual to converse with the spirit for guidance or inspiration. Okay, so he wasn't asking for intercession, although it kind of sounded like he did in Mass Effect 3. Inspiration. Alright, I'll listen more carefully. For example, a Turian who finds his loyalty tested may appeal to the spirit of his unit, hoping to reconnect with the pride and honor of the group. A Turian who wishes to create a work of art may attempt to connect with the spirit of a beautiful location. Turians enjoy absolute freedom of religion and can practice whatever appeals to them so long as it does not impede anyone's ability to perform their duties. There are many practitioners of the Asari Siarist Fiat philosophy. Since opening dialogue with the Human Systems Alliance, some Turians have embraced Confucianism and Zen Buddhism. Matal. Several attempts to chart Matal have been made, but none have been successful. By normal standards, a small rock planet, Matal has a dense atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and argon, with a surprising amount of water vapor. Fogs and rain are common on the barren, lifeless surface. Matal is pleasant enough to be considered a terraforming prospect, though its low mass and the high radiation of the energetic blue star Herschel place it fairly far down on the list. Tungo. Tungo is a massive terrestrial world nearly twice the size of Earth, with a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and ethane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of iron, with extensive deposits of heavy metals and radioactives. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, and many corporations are lobbying for mining rights.
Message coming in from the brass at Arcturus. Patching it through.
Normandy? Admiral Hackett here. We're getting reports of a marked increase in Geth activity in the Skyllian Verge. Surveillance drones have identified Geth outposts on 4 different planets in the Armstrong cluster. We need someone to take them out.
We have any idea what they're after?
Hard to say. They may be just gathering intel on us. Or maybe they're setting up staging grounds for hit-and-run attacks on human colonies.
It could be the first wave of an invasion.
Let's hope not. We need someone to investigate this, Shepard. Finding Saren is still your top priority, but you've got experience fighting the Geth. You're the logical choice to take out these outposts. We're transmitting all the locations of known Geth outposts in the Armstrong cluster to the Normandy now. Admiral Hackett out.
Okay, so there are 4 systems here. Yeah, so I know I wrote about this. One of these is Sulcrum. So the importance of this mission is this is what you give Callie so she can go on her pilgrimage and contribute to her people. If you don't do this, I don't think she ever makes Admiral. But I always do it, so. Antirum-Gon. Antirum-Gon is a small rock-and-ice planet with a trace atmosphere of methane and ethane. The frozen surface is mainly composed of carbon and deposits of calcium. Antirum-Gon has been used as a crude anchorage for Terminus pirates for many years. Shells of temporary dwellings blasted by Alliance frigate patrols dot the surface. But always, the pirates return to ground their ships' drive charges, chip out some water ice, and trade slaves and stories. The deeper layers of Antirum-Gon's interior are semi-liquid slush due to the presence of methanol. It is thought that bacteria in the deep core create this natural antifreeze. Some species of Terminus pirates drill through the ice crust to recover this natural alcohol. Scans from orbit have detected a deposit of cobalt. Sogelrus. Jaurus is a small terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. The frigid surface is mainly composed of water ice, which can be plainly seen in the bottoms of recent craters. The dark coloration of the surface is caused by a carbon and ferrous material pushed up from the denser core by cryovolcanic processes. Rayandri is a small, barren terrestrial world. While it possesses a reasonably temperate climate and number of useful resources, no mining corporation is willing to risk investment. A rogue planetoid, dubbed Vats by the initial Solarian surveyor team, entered the system approximately 10,000 years ago and was trapped in a decaying orbit around Rayandri. It is nearing the end of its slow spiral inwards. Earthquakes and cyclonic windstorms are increasingly common on Rayandri. Within a few hundred years, the planets will rip each other apart. Some Asari travel consortiums have already announced sponsorship of cruises to observe the spectacle. These are big fights. This is tough on higher difficulty, so beware. I appreciate when you have worlds whose coloration has really changed. Red sky, red ground, red star. Surveyed a large deposit of titanium. It is very cool to see some ruins. Coming up on Mass Effect 2, it is not my favorite game, but I have to get through it to get to the next one. It would be very hard for me to choose between which one I like more, Mass Effect 1 or 3. I like the gameplay. I like the exploration of this game more than I do Mass Effect 3. But boy, do I love the Citadel DLC with all of my heart. It's just that also there's a lot of other stuff that I don't love. So from what I can see, I've added so much content to Mass Effect 3 that it's going to be greatly extended and have a lot more in the Codex. So it's a lot more text. Successfully surveyed a large deposit of thorium. So yeah, Mass Effect 2, although it does actually have a better sense of humor in this game, and it's got its moments. The story itself is so claustrophobic and, I'll say it, stupid in so many places, and the bullshit drama of your companions, all of whom have ridiculous stories that you have to deal with before they will like you, even though you're saving the galaxy, is just, I can't stand any of that. It's ridiculous. Okay, so overrun facility. No husks outside, just lots of dragon's teeth. Good job, sweetie. Yeah, keep that up. Yep, let's impale ourselves on the dragon's teeth from inside the Mako. That'll be great. See, there was a road. And,
En route.
Finally, some action.
yeah, what I like about this game is you do have to do it in a certain rhythm, but, Major, we've lost contact with the Corsairs and our sensor sweeps continue detecting nothing but ghosts. VOTS persists in affecting both our active and passive sensors as well as the comm buoys. We won't be able to make contact or detect any potential wreckage until at least 2300 in 2 days' time. I suspect it's nothing more than a technical issue, but I thought it was best to give you a heads up. Sergeant Shevchenko. So I'm gaining from this run-through and through checking out more of the... Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's gonna be... It's Geth on this end. It's Geth on the way out. Husks on the way in, Geth on the way out.
Now it gets fun!
So I am catching more onto the fact that General Petrovsky, who makes an appearance in the graphic novels, was
We got
in
'em all,
charge
Shepard.
of the Kahoku debacle. Because it was signed General. So when we... Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Let me get shit here. Where are you guys?
3 more of these outposts left to clear out? This should be fun.
It's always fun that Rex is having fun. For fuck's sake, come on. Frustrated with my own driving. So even on casual this time, I was really annoyed by Mass Effect 2's mechanics. It's ugly, it's preposterous, it is occasionally funny and poignant. But my attitude about that game now is that you have to get through it to go from one of my favorite things to one of my other favorite things. So, this is the first time I've been playing with the Trilogy Save Editor mod. Downpod contained a League of One medallion. Its owner is nowhere to be found. I hate the DLC. I mean, I really loathe the DLC in Mass Effect 2. Project Overlord just makes me angry. No, in so many ways.
Cover me.
It's poor game design. You've successfully surveyed a small deposit of polonium.
Kill them all.
It is poor game design. It destroys your world. They did this in Dragon Age 2 also. They make you pay for DLC. What happened here? Okay, let me lift my makeup. That's fine. They make you pay for a DLC where you essentially destroy your world. And the fact that Shepard ends up in trouble for the Bahak system is so insanely ridiculous. Uh-oh. I'll try reloading the game. See what happens. Stuck. Maybe out again. I'm back in. Okay, this is weird. This has never happened. Let's see if we're stuck still. Yep, we are. Otherwise, I might have to go back. But first off, that mission is just miserable. It is nothing but bad news. No relief. Nothing funny. No friends. Nothing but just stupid horror the whole way through. And then the scavengers who made this camp have gone. They seem to have abandoned it abruptly some time ago. So the fact that they arrest you is ridiculous. Really ridiculous. because you did not have to disclose to anyone what happened in that system at all. Nobody needed to have any classified information about anything, much less have the Alliance give up their top operative to Batarians. The whole thing is that, well, the Batarians are really mad. Fuck the Batarians. Let them be mad. We don't owe them anything. The Council doesn't owe them anything. It is literally insane. I don't know who came up with it, but it colors and really destroys my sense of enjoyment of that game, and it just makes me mad that Anderson, like they tell you at the beginning, oh yeah, well you're here because of what you did to the Batarians. You know what? You couldn't come up with a better fucking story than that? That's insane. You're crazy. It obviously makes me mad. Don't even get me started on, oh, you were dead. The burnt corpses, evidently a mom-and-pop independent salvage team, show signs of close-range hits from Geth heavy particle beams. Sorry, mom-and-pop. So you could do suspension of disbelief for a lot of this stuff, but that whole mission. So, yeah, okay, so Hackett sends you in without good intel, which he does for this entire series. Fine. So all I really get is the impression that Hackett is a completely ignorant idiot. Russia is a relatively small hydrogen and helium gas giant with large amounts of hydrocarbons in the middle layers of the atmosphere. When the Krogan rebellions ended 3 millennia ago, the Terran-Chief of Naval Operations, a distinguished soldier named Mercury, declared his immediate retirement. He disappeared into what was then uncharted territory. It was only 200 years ago that his ship was found on the surface of Prussia's largest moon. It had landed gently and been deliberately shut down. Of Admiral Mercury, however, no trace was ever found. Dunthor is a large terrestrial planet with a thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide and chlorine. The surface is mainly composed of aluminum with deposits of nickel. Surveyors found the ruins of a technical civilization near the equator, evidently the colony of an ancient spacefaring race. The ruins had subsided to almost nothing, merely wind-hollowed husks of archaeologies and other megastructures. In the center of the ruins was a single column whose inscriptions defied translation for several centuries. When Asari linguists finally managed a translation, the elaborate relief carving said merely, walk among these works and know our greatness. The crude scratches on the base of the reverse side said, monsters from the earth. So, yeah, Arrival DLC. The Arrival DLC did inspire me to write fanfiction. Malinor is the second of Tereshkova's outer worlds. It's essentially a rock of unremarkable ores with some deposits of water ice, but no minerals of value. Frozen surfaces composed of silica. Like the gas giant Solmaron, it is thought that Monmor formed too close to the Tereshkova stars and was thrown outward by gravitational effects. Computer models suggest it will be ejected from the system in a few 100,000 years. Solmarlin is one of Tereshkova's 2 outer worlds. Significantly removed from the rest of the system and with unstable elliptical orbits, it is thought they might have formed within 3 AU of the binary stars and were hurled outward due to the instability of such an orbit. Solmarlin is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with significant quantities of sodium in the upper atmosphere, giving it a distinct gray color. Belgius is a terrestrial world with an atmosphere of chlorine and krypton. The surface is mainly composed of silicates and deposits of carbon. Phajus has a low mass for its size and is tidally locked to the star Tereshkova A. The temperature differences between the sunward hot pole and the dark side cold pole creates constant gale force winds across the Terminator. Ansara. Pretty. Ansara is a small hydrogen helium gas giant. It has unusually large amounts of nitrogen in the upper atmosphere which go purple when ionized by the solar wind. Ansara's convenience is a place to dump drive charge. It has left its orbit littered with debris dumped overboard by visiting crews. That's less cool. Petaurus. Petaurus' atmosphere is very similar to Venus in terms of pressure and temperature. Unlike Venus, however, Petaurus' atmosphere has a significant quantity of oxygen, both free and bound in sulfur dioxides. The surface is largely composed of magnesium, with deposits of carbon. It is possible, if unlikely, that simple life may be developing on Petaurus. Computer modeling suggests that the powerful solar winds from the Tereshkova stars will blow off Petaurus' atmosphere in a few million years, lowering the temperature on the surface to the -70s. Antibar is a cold terrestrial world with an atmosphere of methane and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of iron with deposits of magnesium. The world has been noted as a possible target for long-term terraforming. If the atmosphere could be increased to the thickness of Earth's, the global average temperature would rise by 10 degrees Celsius. Antibar's combination of low temperatures, high-speed surface winds, and low visibility make it dangerous to explore on foot. So yeah, thankfully fanfiction has given me the opportunity to rewrite what I think is stupid and have characters argue that it is in fact stupid. Ooh, pretty sky. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, that. I want to live on the pastel planet. It's just a shame it's covered in death. So in Delicate Subject, which has a Paragon, which I wrote with Paragon Shepard, who romances simultaneously, and not as a love triangle, but as polyamory, Garrus and Thane. So that isn't her just in it, you know, it's all three of them together, and them separately too, so it's full-on Garrus Thane romance. Because they love each other very much in that one. Thane intervenes. He's essentially following the communications on the Normandy and intervenes and tells Jane, "We've successfully surveyed a large deposit of mercury. That the mission to Bahak is suicide. Because he's been there. He has infiltrated it himself. But, as he pointed out, he had bribery going for him, lots of intelligence, and a map, which he never had. And he had internal assistance getting in and getting out, so he basically tells her she's an idiot, even attempting it, and enlists Garrus's help in convincing her that she's an idiot. And instead they find a different way to do it, which is utilizing Liara as the shadow broker to track everything that goes in and out of that station. Oh, look, there are 2 stars. That's cool. And determining that there is something very wrong. So they actually gather intelligence and then send in the Alliance to that system, the asteroid system. I don't think I saved. Run! So she doesn't try to go do it herself, and they actually save the Batarians because they had enough time. Ah, that was dumb. Run, faster. Boost. Why have I forgotten that I have a boost? Wow, yeah, I'm really special. I have completely forgotten that I was a boost, and I've just been like Yep. Ready. Well, that makes it easier now, doesn't it? So that is my therapeutic solution to Mass Effect 2 DLC. I also have her. David Archer becomes key through that storyline. An AU, so things go differently, but the branching point is in fact. Oh dear. Don't do that, sweetie. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get up. Get up. Get up. I don't know how to get up. I am not getting up. Okay. Wow, am I lucky. Wow, am I lucky I'm not dead. So for delicate subject, the branching point is in fact Arrival DLC. For Venri, she's stuck with canon, so she can't really, Morim can't really do much, but she does avoid Aria's mission in Mass Effect 3, the Omega DLC, which I also hate. It was stupid. Why, in your wildest, stupidest dreams, would you trust Aria in the slightest about anything? Oh my god, I have missed and missed and missed. Thank you for that animation. So, but Garrus comes to Morim when Morim is considering going on that mission, and he's like, yeah, you're not doing that. Well, and he just tells her, look, we have the Krogan. We have, you have control over where the Krogan are going. Discovery of the vehicle and the human corpses show the telltale signs of Geth weapons fire. Geth have been mangled by the Thresher Maw. At least they got what was coming to them. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm driving over the bodies. So this is modded. But yeah, Garrus just basically tells her, security panel, Prothean ruin. Prothean data disk recovered. Searching the ruins, you discover a Prothean data disk. Scavenger must have accidentally trapped himself inside while trying to recover it, then slowly died of starvation when the Thresher Maw killed his friends. Grim way to go. Garrus tells her, look, we've got the Krogan, so at that point in the story, which you can choose whenever to do that DLC, so when Aria approaches her, Garrus just says, no, send in the Krogan and you can knock the place over in 3 days, and you won't even have to be there, which is what they did. So, even with canon, you can choose to not do certain DLC for reasons. But I believe that Morim's quote for Mass Effect 2 when she was frustrated is that her job had become doing unreasonable favors for unreasonable people as though it were unreasonable Halloween. So you have successfully surveyed a large deposit of magnesium. And she got along with everyone, which was fine. She had all of the cast and everybody liked her, and that was awesome. But when I wrote Para from Kittens and Broken Things, her divergence point for her AU was taking the codes she had. Taking the codes that she had from the ILO station, it gave you control of the Citadel. So she just hacked her way into everybody's databases, found everybody's secrets, and used them to make Garrus the executor, and then from there, counselor. So Garrus was the Turian counselor of Kittens and Broken Things, so he wasn't wrong in validity, but Kara gets the best out. And the idea of writing Kara is that this is a woman who psychologically martyrs herself rather than physically martyrs herself. She takes much more, she does take physical trauma, she takes much more psychological trauma than my other Shepard had very tough time too, but so it is therapeutic for me to write my headcanons on this stuff. I can't actually play them in the AE, get the same outcomes, but I can, there's a lot of it that I can impose on.
That's number 2. Let's hit the next base.
Where is it? You got that. So Kara was so Paragon she couldn't even consider certain renegade, like, so it broke my heart, but Kara wouldn't have anything to do with Jack or Zaid or Samara. She met them and it's a big no from her. So she was very specific. As I said, she is on the autism spectrum. So she was very, very difficult, but fun to write because she just disagreed with everything I thought she was going to do and wouldn't do it. And it took me a lot longer to come up with the plot because she is self-described as difficult and expensive. But in my head, Shepard, Thane, and Garrus all belong happily in a pile. Although in Of Kittens and Broken Things, I wrote a squad member named Morris Orbiston, Russ for short, who is successfully surveyed a deposit of lithium, who is a giant male biotic gay specter in love with Garrus, and I really sometimes I forget he's not here. I'm like, but where's Russ? Oh, he's not real. That sucks. I miss him. No new messages. So many messages. I love messages. Dark asteroid of mixed carbonaceous materials. While scanning the asteroid field in the Tereshkova system, we picked up some anomalous readings. After some daring maneuvering by Joker, a small team was able to recover some debris from one of the larger rocks. Among the items discovered was a leak of one medallion. Okay, let's see. So, alright, we have... Oh no, it's an assignment. Alright, one more League medallion to go. I didn't have any... I was worried about them when you see still, late in the game that there's still 4 left. I was worried, but I ended up getting them, so as long as I do what I did last time, I'll be fine. Oh yeah, and kittens and... of kittens and broken things. Triggear is a tiny ice dwarf with a trace atmosphere of xenon and krypton. Frozen surfaces mainly composed of water, ice, and ammonia. Cryovolcanic processes are gradually repaving the surface with sheets of fresh ice. Scans from orbit have detected a deposit of lithium. Rashaka is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. In the past, it was often used as a drive discharge point for pirates raiding human settlements from the Terminus systems. In 2178, the Alliance set up a network of covert sensing devices on Rashaka's moons. Reportings of pirate FTL exit vectors over the course of 6 months led to the Alliance Navy to 8 major pirate anchorages. Since the Thrashaka raids, no ships from the Terminus systems have been reported in the Hong system. Matar is a terrestrial planet. Matar is a terrestrial planet with a thick atmosphere composed of nitrogen and krypton. Its frigid surface is mainly composed of sodium oxide and deposits of copper. Because of noxious surface gases, explorers are warned to use extreme caution. Matar lacks a magnetic field. This makes it useless for discharging FTL drive cores in orbit. The energetic particles of solar wind from Hong strike the upper atmosphere directly, ionizing the krypton. This gives the planet its distinctive minty green-white hue. Matriarch's writings recovered. Scans of Matar revealed debris from a destroyed Asari freighter. Further scans uncovered a body, which was brought on board. Dr. Shakwas examined it, but learned nothing about its origins. Among the Asari's personal effects, however, is one of the Matriarch's, Dillanaga's, writings. Caspian is a classic pre-garden terrestrial world with conditions similar to those on Earth millions of years ago. Its hot, humid atmosphere is mainly composed of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. An increasing amount of the surface is covered by simple lichen and algae. Should no unexpected calamity occur, these tiny plants will change the atmosphere to an Earth-like nitrogen-oxygen mix over the next few millennia. Due to its potential for further habitability and sapient life, Caspian has been designated a sanctuary world by the Citadel Council. Landing is prohibited by law, and any disturbance of the fragile young ecosystem will result in harsh fines and imprisonment. At present, the planet is passing through the debris trail of a long period combat. So let's go. So yeah, the setup of Kittens with Kara is that Kara is desperately and terminally in love with Garrus. She totally deserves it. But Thane is desperately and terminally in love with Kara, and Russ is desperately and terminally in love with Garrus. So that made it fun. It was painful to write though, because it's hard for me to see Thane and Garrus as opposition and not just constantly falling in bed with each other, so that was hard. And Thane really was supposed to be a good guy in that one. And just be a mentor. And my god, that character would not allow that to happen in any way whatsoever. He argued with me every day about everything. And I had to change my plot because he just wouldn't do it. He did not want redemption. He wanted her. Pretty. Buried under the beacon was an identification tag for Captain Thane. There's no Thane? I'll say it Thane. There's no indication of why it was hidden here, or who buried it in the first place. So, I think that's it. Oh. Oh no, that was 20. Okay. God, for this booster. God, I hate this movie so much. She is really, really lucky there's like nothing volcanic on these places, because me driving, man, I would drive straight into a volcano, no question. It makes so much more sense to be able to fly. This is a difficulty where I can pretty much just stand here and do this, not run around screaming like we do with the pressure mods. Otherwise, these fights are really scary. There's usually a first and second wave. Ship usually lands. Geth transmitter. Geth array is transmitting regular data bursts on an encrypted channel using the Alliance's own FTL comm buoys. It's not clear when the data is being directed, nor the content of the signal. Turn off the Geth comm. Jokes. But nobody likes it. Essentially stealing payload. And in Kittens and Broken Things, due to a variety of factors, Legion, because essentially, out of hero worship, and Kara being who she is, and Legion being essentially genderless, Legion chooses to identify as female. Awesome. So in my headcanon, my Legion takes Sojourner Truth's name and gets shortened to Sooth. Is not named after biblical demons. has a lot more agency over saving things. Legion is always a major character in the books. Successfully surveyed a large deposit of gold. And so is David Archer. In delicate subject, it becomes like an AI on part of the ship because David Archer can speak deaf language. David Archer and Legion get together, use some of those immersion pods, put them on the Normandy, and everybody can network. And David kind of lives in there. He will sleep occasionally, maybe. And in another one, in Fruit, David is adopted by Karen Chakwas. And Moya is the male shepherd in that one. Unfortunately, Kara. Well, it's not unfortunate. Kara never encounters David Archer. So he isn't a part of that story. Cerberus is really a non-issue in Kara's world because with Garrus as the counselor, things go much better in the Citadel. And they figure out, based on a theory developed in Delicate Subject, what? Where are you? Over here? Am I facing the right way? No, I'm facing the wrong way. Okay. This is hard for you. Okay. To turn left. Go down here. Yes. So Garrus manages to figure shit out while Kara is dead. What? How? Alright. So by the time Kara wakes up, they have figured out indoctrination. The humans are mostly safe, which would include Cerberus and the virulence of Cerberus's. So Cerberus is also a non-issue because they never really get indoctrinated. Humans are protected. They just cooperate with Liara in bringing Shepard back. And that's pretty much the end of it. Had a lot of catharsis. You've successfully surveyed a deposit of Sumerian. Yeah, well, where were the geth? This is weird. Okay, where am I? Oh my god, this is weird. I don't even see the make anymore. Alright, I'm gonna follow the little arrow. For your laser. I see you now. That'll help. Yeah, I remember this one is really difficult to approach. You have to like sneak up on it. Oh no, you look like so bad. You look so bad. job. Great way to take a breath. Stop me from trying. Kittens and broken things, Cerberus and most humans are not really the problem. The Reapers in that cycle, considering the humans figured out indoctrination for themselves, focus on death.
Just one outpost left. I'm going to miss slaughtering Geth like this.
Don't worry, honey. We'll slaughter way more death. Well, I guess you won't. We're getting near the end. You will get to slaughter some more Geth, but then you're gonna have to go back to chomping and deal with assholes. Yeah, that was another thing. Kara wouldn't even consider
moving out.
Grunt either in her mind. He successfully surveyed a large deposit of uranium. In her mind, he simply could not consent. He'd lived,
all targets
been
down.
Essentially brainwashed, and it would have been an evil act. Hormal is an enormous terrestrial planet with a very dense atmosphere of carbon dioxide and sodium. The surface is scorching hot, and mainly composed of sodium oxides and deposits of nickel. There is evidence that Hormal was once covered with broad, shallow seas. Should a probe ever be sent to the surface, a check for ancient fossil life might prove valuable. So, yeah, Javik, there was a prompt for me to write it was based off of Delicate Subject. Almost is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of sodium darkening its atmosphere. For a romance with Javik, because he was very into Jane the Shepard there, but she was not into him. Paragon is an enormous terrestrial world with an atmosphere of chlorine and ethane. Its surface is mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of aluminum. No landing has ever been attempted. Her insignia recovered. While scanning the planet Paragon, we discovered several marker buoys orbiting it. Chief Engineer Adams secured some high-res optical images of the buoys, which appeared to have been neglected for some time. Each one was marked with the Betika colony insignia. Maji orbits the Vamshi binary giant stars. Vamshi A is a blue star of spectral class A4II, which burns at half again the temperature of Sol. Vamshi B is an aging red giant of class MSIII, over 220 times the size of Sol. Maji has a thin atmosphere of methane and carbon monoxide. The difference in temperature between the hemisphere facing the sun and that facing deep space causes constant wind, stirring the silica and sodium dust of the surface. Unsavory characters from the Terminus systems occasionally use Maji for forms of cruel sport, dumping slaves, hostages, quarreling shipmates, or even, when bored, vicious animals on the surface. One must kill the other before they'll be rescued from the lethal radiation of the giant stars. So yeah, I had a prompt to do a Javik romance, which was a hard sell, because I don't really like Javik. Or didn't at the time. Now I do, because I really sold it to me and a bunch of other people. So, yeah. I have a greater appreciation of Javik's psychology after having taken a very good look at it. Same with Thane. I really disliked Thane as the written character, and I still dislike Thane as the written character. But my Thane, I love. So, Mass Effect 2 will probably be Garrison Thane, just because those are the guys I usually take, and then possibly switch to Tally for some stuff. But yeah, my Thane I adore, and I love the voice actor. Farley is his last name, I can't think of it. Successfully surveyed a large deposit of thorium. Amazing voice actor. I just like listening to him, which is fair for all the guys who like taking out Miranda because they love looking at her. I mean, that's fair. She's got voice kinks. Usually don't care what someone looks like. It's how they sound. So that was the starting prompt for Delicate Subject, a one-shot of Poetry Slam, where the women are drunk and betting on who has the better voice, and they get Garrison Thane to compete. That's awesome. Hey. Strange-looking sensor has some ancient graffiti scribbled on it. It appears to be marked with the Edison colony insignia. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is modded. I don't remember these names. So someone has made up Turian colony names, which is kind of cool. I don't know if that's pulled from canon or anything like that. But I like the expansion of just you found a thing to a specific thing. Let's see. Some more further text. Thank you, mod creators. Again. Odd skull. This massive skull is scored by deflected mass accelerator shots. The xenobiology files in your Heartsuit computer can't identify the species. They must have been brought here from an unknown world. I've decided that it's a Calicosaur. That's in Mass Effect 3. You can speak to a Solarian scientist who wants, like, a sample. You get a sample, and he's proposing to use them as mounts for Turians to ride into battle, I think, which is just kind of awesome. It looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull. I added a mod for my run-through of Mass Effect 3 that I don't know how it works. It wasn't in my last run-through. I figured when I reinstalled it. But it asked me which books and comics I had read. And I basically said, hey, all of them, even though I haven't. But there may be a lot more context in there. I don't know, I'll find out. I did not include the Andromeda anything. I think the mods have put in some of the Andromeda timeline into things. Probably even in some of the stuff that I've read. I just don't acknowledge Andromeda at all. Beryllium deposit. You successfully surveyed a large deposit of beryllium. So I know nothing about Andromeda. I don't want to know anything about Andromeda. I never made it past the tutorial. I didn't like it. And at the time, I didn't make myself play the way I made myself play Veilguard out of curiosity. Because Veilguard was finishing up something that I absolutely adored with characters that I loved and got crucified. But Andromeda was an optional extension that only used the world space and not the characters. So, I could not get into Andromeda at all. I was completely aware of all of the Gamergate stuff going on at the time, and how women were getting doxxed, and writers were getting fired, and people were getting pushed out of the industry. And all the... Oh yeah, I think this is a road I could have taken up and killed all of the... There's a road down there, pretty sure. So I was already aware of the colonization storyline before it came out. I was appalled, and I could not get past the tutorial where they're like, "Wait, why are they firing at us? Because you're invading, you fucking idiot! What the hell?" So I have no plans ever of attempting to replay. I ignore it as a thing. So I will not be learning. There might be some Andromeda stuff in here that I'm going to go, huh, I wonder what that's about. And then I'll look and I'll go, damn it, it's about Andromeda. And I'm going to say it's about Andromeda. And then I'm going to ignore it. This is a really ugly historical time for women in games, and it has led to, well, as far as I can tell, the death of BioWare. Well, dead to me, anyway. So, if they remade Origins, I'm buying it. I'm buying it, without a question. If they remade Origins, oh, I would buy it faster than anybody. You don't like that, huh?
I expect one of these outposts to be the main base of operations for this incursion.
Hold up. This receiver's picking up some kind of transmission. Based on the signal strength, I'd say it's coming from inside this star cluster.
Is it Solcrum?
It must be a message from the primary Geth base. We can use the signal to lock onto its location and take them out.
Okay. So I remember the name because I wrote it into Kittens. Instead of being found on a Reaper, the IFF or anything like that, Legion contacts Kara and sends the locations of these stations. Okay. Am I there? Where am I? I'm there. What? Howdy. I'm not going back for a magnesium deposit. I think I grabbed it. Alright. Gives them these locations, and Kara is just confused because she's like, that's where what? Why? And Legion only wanted her to make the association of this is where Geth are, I am a Geth, in that very innocent Legion way. She's like, you wanted me to associate you with Geth wiping out everybody? Oh, just the association of Geth. Okay. So she learned to actually speak Geth and developed a keyboard and just was massively happily nerding out, freaking out everybody else because Legion's her new best friend, who has to be called her and is now called Sooth, with Thane and Garrus terrified and jealous. An asteroid composed of mixed metals and silicates. Scans of the asteroid field revealed a small deposit. Hello. Ooh, hello. Sulcrum. Warning, level 1 heat hazard. Sulcrum is the largest moon of the gas giant Notaban. It has a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The crust is composed of various metals with deposits of sodium. As with everybody in the solar system, the surface is scorching hot and thoroughly irradiated by the blue giant grissom. Surface excursions without proper protective gear are certain to prove fatal. On approach to Nuttleban, Normandy's passive sensor array intercepted a fragmentary coded transmission from the surface of Saltwood. Attempts to decrypt the message were fruitless. It does not appear to be in any software coding language used by the Citadel races.